Psychrometry, or sensing objects, could go either way. This chapter is about what you feel in different things. Some people want to know if there's any history or any past ill will with the particular object within their house. Sensing objects, especially if they're organic. Pretty much everything is organic. Plastics, well, actually they're kind of oil, but they've been through a manufacturing process. I was walking down one street one day. I was hanging out with my friends on Lambton Quay in Wellington here, and I suddenly noticed a walking stick, quite a long walking stick. And I went up to it and put my hands on it, and all I could feel was evil, as though it had been beating kids or small animals or sheep or something like that. And it was so repulsive. I put it back and I went, oh, that's weird, because I was going to hand it and put it in lost property or hand it into the nearest shop, and I just couldn't bear to touch it. That is psychrometry, or sensing objects. What's the energy that these things pick up on? And so sometimes people come in and go, can you tell me about my mother's teapot? Interesting. Take a moment, center yourself, feel where you are, and just put the teapot in your hand, or whatever object it is, and then see what pictures come up in your mind's eye. What do you notice in the nothingness? What comes up? Do you have a sense of feeling in your body? Do you have a sense of feeling in your stomach, in your heart? Maybe you have sensations around your body. How do you interpret them? So it's about knowing and having a practice of what they are doing. So with that stick, for me, I felt a horrible feeling of disgust. My throat started closing, my heart started clenching, and my gut started churning. That is fear, that is anger, that is not good, basically. It's like, ugh. And so what happens is sometimes you can pick up those feelings. People sometimes do it like, tell me about myself. So sometimes they'll give me a ring, and just having that ring, held it in my hand, and then see what I feel and what I notice and what emotions come out of that. No point in doing it for myself, because I know who I am. Well, I think I know who I am. And so having a play with maybe your friend's ring, what do you pick up? Do you notice about them? Or somebody who you don't really know that well. That's a really good way to practice. And so sensing objects is about what you see around you and how you can read them. It's not only sensing objects, but you can also sense how trees are, and sense how the undergrowth or the bush or the forests or the woods are. I used to go walking with my mum in South Downs in Surrey, and the trees were ancient and they had a sense of contentment. They had a sense of knowing because they were so old. I went to the Botanical Gardens here in Wellington, and an old oak tree, which is not their native place of being, was not really that happy. He was not getting a frost every year, and that's what he likes. And so objects and trees and plants and vegetation can tell you all sorts of things. You just have to stop and listen. For plants, you want to ask their permission before you step into their space. Maybe a short prayer, karakia, and say, "Beloved plant, please allow me to step into your space so I may feel what you're feeling," or any words to that effect. And then you can see if the plants you've planted in your garden are happy where they are. You can also nurture plants. You can go in and have a chat with them. You can send your energy around them. So that what we've noticed is one plant where you send energy around elation and happiness, it flourishes and grows beyond what you'd ever thought you'd dream of. And if you ignore the one next to it, it doesn't flourish so well. It just about survives. There is so much to know about energy. Scientists haven't figured it out all either. And so why don't you play with that, sensing objects? What do you sense that's around you? Sometimes you can even sense sad souls that have sat in hospital seats. That's a bit sad, because so much sadness is in the hospital seat, it started taking on board the vibrations of around, of sickness and ill health and panic and hurt and sadness. And so careful what you do sense, careful what you put your hand on, careful what you try and find out. Small steps, take your time. Start with jewellery, start with maybe then ornaments, and then go out and sense the trees. And if you feel really brave, go out and sense some graveyards. We'll come back to that.